It also helps you push into the word instead of dropping onto it. The Lord, pedantic and singing, it has no message to it because we're not squeezing life out of the words. And it's a kind of a picket fence song. Look at all those quarter notes. Pretty dull, and the tune doesn't go anywhere. So all of the action, all the goodness has to come from the words. Lord, give us a couple parts. 1 and 2. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Fresh and green are the pastures where He gives me repose. Thank you. Let's stop there. First, the word want. At the end of that phrase, you're doing it really well because you're musical, but your choir probably won't do it that lovely, hardly ever, unless you let them feel the inevitability of the T on want. There is nothing I shall want. You hear the shape in the word want? It's not on the page. It's not a decrescendo. That's for sure. Leaders are going to get down. Nothing I shall want. Now, by the time the T comes, that vowel has shaped down naturally and musically so that the T can arrive and it feels right. If the vowel is pushed too long and hard, you don't know where the T goes because it's not time to quit yet. You'll hear it when you try to put that T together. You say, I want the T on the third beat of the bar. And you try to do it, and somebody is pushing through, whoa, there's just no end to it. So you must demand that the T feels inevitable and that it arrives together. Let's try that. And when you get to that spot, feel the way that sort of rolls over like a wave and ends with a little pebble drop on the ground, the seaside. 1, 2. My shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Fresh and green are the pastures where He gives me repose. It was so perfect. And it is so delightful to conduct that. Because you know the T is just going to be just the right size. It's not going to be a big smack in the head. We haven't had to drill it to death to get it organized. It feels inevitable. Everybody wants to just put the T together. And once they've done it once, they want to do it again. The next phrase is a really, when I saw this poetry, I had a bunch of translations to work from. When I saw fresh and green, say that with me, and fresh and green. Now that is so different from King James Version that it really begs to be in a song. But because those 8 notes are quick, we often get fresh and green, and we say the word fresh. It just sits there. Fresh and green. So the first thing you want to do is lengthen the vowel. Fresh and green. Say that. Fresh and green. And we've got an F and an R with a sum, and this beautiful vowel. The SH is attached to the end. fresh and green. Say the word. Green.
Green.
The R is sung in here. Fresh and green, green, green. Just fresh and green. Sing those two sounds with the upper. And fresh and green again. 1 and 2, heads up. Fresh and green. Now we've experienced that together. And you're going to look around your choir for people who are liking it, people who aren't liking it. And you'll see the flaccid faces, and you press past that, and you go, this is delightful. What a picture of the grace of God. We've all thought about the Shepherd's Song before, and being in this lush place. Here we get to sing about it. Fresh and green. Be prepared to show that to them. You get them to do it back. And if there's a few people that are tense and thinking about it, just thinking too much, not disinterested, but just thinking about it too much. I often do this with my choir. Okay, take your hand, folks. Take your right hand. Take your right hand. Take your right hand and wipe it past your face. It's just silly, isn't it? You get a few giggles and you get it. And right away, there's a change. There it is. Fresh and green. We've got that. We've said enough about it. I've said more than I usually would about it because we're talking about what words mean. Are the pastures where he gives me repose. There's such a sense of relaxing and arriving at home when you get to the O in repose. But a lot of people would just think, repose, kind of a nondescript. It's an O, but it's not really repose. This is why choral singers make such grimacing faces in front of their choir, because they're trying to get the choir to sing vowels and to sing the shapes of words, and some get it. Some will forever be singing with half-closed mouths. We can do the same with repose as we did to walk. I probably should have put a rest there so that you would have something to aim at. Let's do fresh and green. Do the S on repose with me. 1 and 2. Fresh and green are the pastures where he gives me repose. Beneath the waters he leads me to revive my drooping spirit. To revive my drooping soul. Lovely, okay. Yeah, I should put a rest at the bottom of the first page so that you can get out of it, get a breath, and then come back in with the near. The N is a sung consonant. It's not really an operative word in this phrase. I think waters needs more attention in terms of that designation. But the N on near helps start the phrase. Otherwise, it's near, nearest for water. So we're talking about legato singing, and we're talking about how the words can help you get there. And we give them time and we give it space. We talk about the consonants. Near. Near. It's one syllable. Near. Or like near. Only it's all one syllable. Near. Say it to near. Now ease into the end. And near. All right. Now that says to me, I'm going somewhere. Because it didn't stop when we said it. Nearest for. Ready, say. Nearest for waters he leads me. That little journey that we make chromatically and in time on leads. The whole bar spent on one word, leads, is part of, I guess, the word making on the word leads. That journey we're following our Lord. And that's going to take more energy, almost bumping into those syllables. Leads. So there's an earnestness about the word leads. I wouldn't try to do all this at one rehearsal. It would be over the few weeks that we're working on it, we would find more and more words. Try to remember what we've done. We add to it. We're really parsing this out for this class. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I need on the word leads. Let's do it from the top of the page and go through there. 1 and 2 and go. Here restful waters he leads me to revive my drooping spirit, to revive my drooping soul. Very nice. Let me, I'm going to have to go to the bases and insist that we do spirit instead of spirit, which you're going to find. Everybody has it's just the dialect that we speak. So it's spirit, or if you're trying to spirit, there's not much difference between the spirit, except we're backing away for the second syllable. To revive, let's start right on there. To revive, open wide, open. These are small syllables, and then to revive. 1 and 2. To revive my drooping spirit. To revive my drooping soul. Okay, there it is. There's some ideas in there. Any thoughts or things that come up in your head as you're picturing yourself trying to make some of this happen on whatever it is?
I don't know to first one, but
You deserve to be.
but in like the musical theater world, we have this stupid exercise where it's like, hey, you should like say your your song as a monologue, and like we do this again in the choral world, and so we do this with scripture in the choral world, and you get a different understanding for sure of like what the words actually mean. Say like I'm talking right now, words. I'm so sick of words. My Fair Lady, something like that.
So you speak your songs?
Sometimes in musical theater they do, because it goes by.
And that's a stupid exercise?
It's most students think it's stupid, but we go by the Bonk-Fosse philosophy of when you don't have the words to say it, you sing it, and when you can't sing anymore, you dance. So
that's a dancer speaking.
it's all building on each other.
Right.
So like they're good.
Yeah.
But it's not also like a process, but they're all interconnected.
Are you saying that you should speak the words sometimes, but like try to read them as though the Lord is my shepherd? There's nothing I should want, like in a way that you read them elegantly, like a poem.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's useful.
I just keep thinking about how, even as instrumentalists, even though we're not saying the words while we play, of course, but we have to interpret it as if we're playing poetically, or in the same fashion we have to shape our sound, much like we would shape our words. So I just keep thinking that as an instrumentalist, how we interpret our sound needs to come out the same way as if we were shaping our words all the same.
On that same vein, though, also as a vocalist and an instrumentalist, when you're playing a piece that I'm familiar with as a singing, then you're trying to play it with the same phrasing, even though I'm not breaking the sentence up with my words, I want the same phrase as if I were singing it as a player. So that's another benefit of knowing the words, having that familiarity.
Many conductors want the shape of the phrase to be long and to cover in where there might be commas and things. For clarity, when we're singing words, we sometimes, like when we sing this, we want those little parcels of the ideas to emerge like flowers blossoming, and we're really clear. But I think a lot of bands that I've been with, there's a sense of, oh, I gotta stagger breathe, I gotta keep the phrase going, don't breathe here, and just keep it. So if you do have one or two places where you know there's an important moment, as a leader, you should bring that to your people. I think what it will affect is the sort of the natural bloom of the phrase. You've got a long note. If it just sits there, it doesn't have any emotionality. Most musical phrases are either coming or going. You're either going to the top or you're releasing from it. So a long note needs to do something. Very rarely do I want a long note just to sit there. And I think if you're thinking of the word as a conductor, give that to your people. Maybe that'll help that moment. And it's if you've got 20 people, or if you've got 5 people, and they're doing a kind of a crescendo in the middle of the note, it's going to ruin it. It's a very subtle thing that we're talking about. But having the idea and having them reach for something that brings out the musicality of the line. Talk about line. This is what line is. It's A and B, and how do you get there? See a map of the globe and the airplanes that fly. It's never like this. It's a natural, because of the curve theorem. Phrases are always coming and going. Too many words. It's all right.
Hey, Len, along those lines, and this is something that I've dealt with both as a leader of choral music and as a singer in choral groups. The endings of phrases, you talked a little bit about it in this little exercise we were doing, of just landing on it and finding it. I wonder if you have any suggestions or tips for, if you've got large choirs and we're singing. I know, and I love our songsters and I love groups that sing it, but oftentimes our shortcomings at times are a lot of S's are too early, T's are too early. There's this inconsistency with phrasing of that ending of this phrase you're talking about, then getting on with the next one. Do you have any suggestions to how to best capture the ends of phrases that are delicate if it's anything?
That's probably a lesson in itself. I think what is unhelpful would be to say we're not together. That's what do I do with that? Okay, we're going to listen to the end of this phrase. The word is repose. Let's do it. And then they have one example of something that ended together. And you're going, I heard that. Yeah, do that. That would be the start. For me, it would be one at a time. Pick your battles. Just get this. This is a really important moment. Let's do it together. Give them the task of listening, because it won't fix itself. And that, I think, is a problem with certain kinds of music. Remember the jumps from songsters and things that we used to sing that were strophic? The next verse is the same as this, the next verse is the same as that. And you get, it just continues. So in order to make things happen together, you're going to have to take liberties at the ends of the phrase to give space to end them together. Because you cannot sing strophic songs and have tidy singing, because there's no place to breathe. You've got to expand the end just infinitesimally, not add an extra beat, but there's something that happens so that we finish and then we have time to breathe and go on. So with certain kinds of music is a real killer, depending on what you're doing. With this, dead easy. This seems to happen really easily, and especially when you start talking about these little phrases.
I have a response to you in a negative sense, just for the moment. I don't know when it was, but I remember years ago, like people spent so much time making cutoffs like whole blood cutoffs on the end of T's or whatever on the end of phrases, and it killed the phrase, and it just kills when you're sitting there. Because why do you spend all the time going like this every phrase where we're coming into line of what Len suggested? It naturally has a finish. Because we're already rolling, we have rhythm, we have pulse, we have those things, and there it is, right there. You don't have to do all this, but how many times have you asked, where's the cutoff, right? You hear that question, right? So that's we need to get rid of that, because it's just killing the music, you know what I mean? So I don't know if you probably grew up with that, Manchester, I don't know, but you know, right? So, but I have had that so often, it's just, oh. Here we go.
I often find myself talking about shapes, and I'll hold my hand, and I'm conscious of you looking at me like that. Picture this phrase like a wedge. We're going to start with confidence here, but it's going to end here, and so they have a mental picture. It only takes a second to describe a triangle or a wedge or whatever, or a pyramid or an arc. I also use crazy images like. Think of squeezing the dough, the icing sugar out onto the cake with the bed. If there's that kind of, I'm looking for pictures all the time, and I don't purposefully dream them up. I'm looking for a way of solving something that I hear, and so it'll pop into my head, and I'll say it and go, oh, visual, right? Although it's mental, they're thinking visually with me. So it's a very useful tool. And it helps clear up that problem because they've got a shape. They remember it. They remember it. If they drew it on their pages, I encourage my people to use pencils all the time and mark it up. Put in a shape. You can see that if we put all these decrescendos and crescendos on the page, it would just be mindless. You wouldn't bother looking at it. It would just be so much garbage after a while. So. It's up to you to be musical to bring that to you. Any other thoughts on this part of the lesson?
It's like interpreting Shakespeare in a way. When you said stroke and city, I'm thinking, when you learn Shakespeare, you learn iambic pentameter, like to be or not to be, but if you actually sit in the words and think about it, you interpret it differently, you learn the difference.
That's right. Perfect example. And Shakespeare is so rhythmical, so lyrical, and when you hear a wonderful artist delivering these lines, it's a piece of music. It really is a beautiful thing. Iambic pentameter. Let's sing the first phrase of When Morning Gilds the Skies. When, C is fine. When morning gilds the skies. You know that song? My heart awakening cries. Iambic pentameter.
I don't know the song.
I know the tune, I don't know the words.
Yeah, the words are when morning gilds the sky. So it's weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. You don't sing it pedantically, but there's where the operative words lie. Well, try if you can. 1 and 2 and. When morning gilds the skies, my heart awakening cries, may Jesus Christ be praised. It's such a wonderful hymn because it's by degrees. It's a scale and it's by degrees, and you're being swept along by these wonderful images. Morning gilds the skies. Vowel, beautiful matrimony of words and music. Sky. My heart awakening cries what? May Jesus Christ. To hear a congregation doing that with an organ or a brass band is enough to make you. Yeah. Strong, weak, or weak, strong, weak, strong. Yeah. Shall we go on?
Yes.
Let's go to page 5, and gentlemen, join with what we've got here, the ladies' line, and you have your bit later, but sing everything that's on the page as it comes. So we've transitioned to this brighter key. 1 and 2 and go, and you have prepared for me in the sight of life. Sing along with us, guys. I met the anointed with oil, and above overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Follow me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Follow me all the days of my life. Okay, good. Another try. Let's do it again. We begin. You. It's a sung consonant, and it helps the phrase get launched. You have a pen prepared. That's the way it's going to happen the first time. Don't let it happen the second time. Because the minute you hear that, your ears go, that's it. You have prepared a 1 and 2. You have prepared a banquet for me in the sight of my foes. My head and have anointed with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, shall follow me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Is that when it's written with a 3-beat note at the end of the phrase, and you need time to breathe and prepare the next word, you really need a beat rest to do that. And I would conduct, you have prepared a banquet for me in the sight of my foes, the way we've already rehearsed. And then my cup overflows. So 2 beats on the O, and then a release on the S. And I don't think I'll ever write a 3-beat note at the end of a phrase without a rest. Because I want my people to be able to go, sure. There's the turnaround, and it happens in a bad spot. It's at the point where you're turning the page and you can't figure out what's next, and you go, oh, I missed it. So you need time to breathe. Blow your arrow. Ready? 1, 2. Shoo. 1, 2. Shoo. That's what has to happen in that rest. And in fact, the S happens just before the beat. It's like golf swing. Any golfers? I wish I did it better. But it's the follow through. The ball connects with the club down here, but the swing starts up here, and this is the S. Shoo. Not with a click. Shoo. And that happens with SHs and SWs, words that begin like that. So the sound of the word happens before the beat. It's a small enough. But it means that we have to have room to do that. And in good writing, there won't be little ding, 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 dings for the piano to do while you're trying to breathe and set that up. I got to rethink that, Harold. Yeah, but a lot of people will rush that, and then you're crowding what you want to do with the words. So if you're aware of that, well, the piano has something to do there. Piano, just relax there so we can go. Surely good. Breathing again, surely. Where am I? Surely goodness and mercy. Talk to me. 1 and 2. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, shall follow me. So the follow me has kind of, it goes along with the shape and the rhythm. Say it again. 1 and 2. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, shall follow me. And the dot on follow me is important. Mercy shall follow. There's a bit of traveling there. It doesn't just sit there. There's a phrase we die. Mercy shall follow. We lift it for being musical. Are they going to get that? Are they going to do that naturally? No. But they might have a chance if you show it to them. Like when Harold was talking about always be moving, you come to the end of the phrase and it's still alive and it's still hanging there and important. And it'll just go if you're not moving. Move. So if you're moving towards them or mercy shall follow, you can give them a shape of where they should be going. Your most musical individuals will follow that. The others have to be told. There's a little lift there. I wouldn't get to it. I wouldn't get to it for weeks. By then the piece is tired. Go on to the next. Because it's easy, you know. Pick another time when having your choir feel the energy traveling of a certain mood. Oh, it's complicated, eh? Don't you think it's complicated?
Maybe we're complicating it more too.
Well, I hope we're allowing people to think themselves, I'm musical, I get this, I know when I hear good music, what makes it good. Maybe I can help get this to people. The battle we face as players is that you initiate the sound, push down the valve, and play the dynamics. You learn how to read rhythms. And your sense of the momentary of a whole musical line, it's not always stressed. It can't be addressed. It's too fussy. When you've got a word to set to it, people can go, oh, okay, I'll move to that word. It's a different discipline. I hope I haven't given you the sense that it's overwhelming or we're giving you too much. But it's all I got. It's all I got. It's my favorite thing. Oh, remember in COVID when I couldn't come to your thingy?
Quick 25. Yeah.
Was it?
We'll conduct the leadership.
Leadership there. And I was online, we had a bad connection, and I was trying to talk about this stuff, which is the most important thing in the world to me as a musician and a leader. And I just lost it. I was so frustrated with the technology, and this thing was cutting in and out, and I was trying to express things that were deep, deep, deep. And whenever I do that, I get into trouble emotionally. If I'm saying something important, it's important to me. I feel its importance. Maybe it helps in my writing, but it doesn't help when you're giving a sermon. And you're always so vulnerable, you read on the internet. So I completely lost it that day. I must apologize. Yeah. We'll do it again sometime.
But you said I'm done last night, so it's...
Oh, you're done. Traveling days are done.
Joe Caddy was also very frustrated trying to get the connections. What happened was, Len was supposed to come, it was COVID, we couldn't get him out, or we couldn't get him back in Canada to get him down here. And we were doing a leadership forum, and I had these 11 choral guys, plus the songsters downstairs, and we thought, well, we'll have them come online and do a session. It basically was just how we're gonna teach a song. Simple, right? That's what we're gonna do. And he showed us this beautiful view behind wherever the window was, beautiful, but then this connection kept cutting out. So he would say something, and then he wasn't there, and then, yeah. So. Yeah, we'll do it again.
Let's finish the piece, folks. Here's page 7. Help us get into In the Lord's own house I shall dwell forever. Dwell. So we've got W's and other places where we want to be word specific. Give us a couple bars, Carl. In the do in this last section? What you feel like? How to do it? Yeah.
I'm struggling with placing the V.
Yes.
I feel like the V in ever belongs at 85. But, so I'm having trouble placing where the E, or the V goes.
Well, syllabically, because of the language, we divide it this way. But the V goes in 85.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's just a grammar thing.
Okay.
We divide the word that way.
It's divided there, but it's sung at 85.
It's sung there, yeah.
Okay.
That happens a lot.
Okay.
And in cases like this where it's all spaced out, you might want to say, it didn't even occur to me, but you're right. The V happens on 85.
Yep.
And if we're being measured, altos, tenors, basses, there's a place, a very natural place for those syllables to fall. Let's go forever. Let's do the last page, right from 80. Yep. And 1. Very nice. Do it again. And let's have more certainty what we're going and allow it to almost flex into those new syllables. It's a wonderful moment. Say the word more. Ready? More. And that M is tuned. You've got a note to sing on it. Ready? Not now, but when we get to it. And more. Hang on. So there's a little bit of flex. It doesn't influence the timing, but it influences how we address and how we release. Top of the page again. And wide left. Very nice. Altos, when you go to ver on ever, give me that an easier approach to that so that it doesn't hit downwards, but it goes through the consonant. One more. Can you do without the music? Thank you, Harold. That's enough. Thank you, folks. It's been really a treat. Harold can make his own thanks, but delightful to be taken out of the closet, brought back to life.
We're biblical.
Now I can limp my way back to the iceberg in which I live. Yeah, delightful. I'm going to have the devotions with you a little later, so I'll have more to say in terms of your own continuance in this. But thank you. You've been great responders, and there's been something that isn't too messy and too complicated to take home and to give to your people. It's a love gift. It's an offering. Bless you.